Hi everyone, welcome to AOT226 spreadsheet Excel class. My name is Helen Mandelinich. I will be your instructor this semester, and we are completing this class online as what START calls a Web 3 class. I'm in the classroom and I just wanted to take a minute to go through how the pieces and parts of the class, and then I'm going to make another movie on review of the syllabus. So when you enter our Excel class, you'll always come to the announcements page. That's the home page that you're, let me go into student preview. So you'll always have an announcement. There's going to be a banner at the top that gives you my information, my office hours, contact information, that type of thing. And then you're going to have a weekly announcement page. Oftentimes I'll include an video or an audio that accompanies the announcement. So if you look at this one, it's a welcome to class, and I'll always have what's coming up in the next week with the due dates. I will try and in the narrative steer you to some problem spots that might happen, or areas that maybe students in the past have had trouble with the chapter, or any kind of help that will assist you getting through the material for that week. All right, so then over on the left, the first week you'll want to go into this Start Here folder, and there's this kind of standard stuff. I'm going to let you read it, and then it's divided into materials and assignments. If you go into the material folder, there's a syllabus with calendar and due dates. That's what my other movie is going to go through. Then there's information about getting the textbook and the SIMnet code for this class. And so one of the things that I wanted you to understand is you can't have just the textbook alone. It has to be the textbook with the SIMnet code. Let me go ahead and go in that. Your choice is, do you want a physical book as well as the ebook SIMnet code, or do you just want the ebook SIMnet code? So there's two avenues of choices. So you get a physical book with the SIMnet code, and the SIMnet code is what's going to allow us to complete all of our assignments, and it also has the ebook in it. So the difference between option 1 and option 2 is this one: you get a physical book and then repeat what is in option 2, which is the ebook with the SIMnet code. So option 1 is physical book, ebook, SIMnet code. All right, so that is totally up to you whether or not you get a physical book. Student data files, this is a zip that has all the files that you might need, but honestly, they're in each assignment. I probably would just use them as you're moving through the class. This is how the course is going to be graded. So there are these things called SimBook chapters. It's called Let Me Tries. 152 points. Pause and Practice, which is working through the chapter and submitting that lab. And that's the one thing, the one category that gets submitted in Blackboard. Guided and Independent, 450. And then you have some tests. There's 3 tests in here with 2 pieces each, one a SIMnet part and one like a lab part. Attendance, participation, and professionalism, and then some extra credits. So there's in total 1,297 points, and then here's the breakdown of the grade. So you can read through that. This is the big thing, but like I said, I'm going to have another movie on that. Then if you go into the assignments in the Start Here folder, there is this what's called an access quiz. This is extra credit, but you need to go through this before you start anything else, and you can do it as many times as you want. It just reviews the syllabus basically, and how the class works. So really, watching this movie, looking at the syllabus and the syllabus movie, and you should be fine. There's an honesty and learning assessment that is multiple choice questions, and it is answers are strictly off of the syllabus. And then I want you to post a who are you. Just give a brief summary of who you are, and maybe what your major is, that type of thing. So those 3 things are in the assignments folder of the Start Here. Then you want to go to lessons. And if you look at lessons, you'll see you can, there's this product information and help. And so this is all the stuff about SimNet and Blackboard and Collaborate. So Collaborate is a tool that we can use online where I can see your screen. We can, through the Collaborate, I can help you online. You could have your product and your file up, and I could be working on it remotely and helping you through it. So tuck that in the back of your mind. I'm perfectly willing to help you through Collaborate. It makes it easy when we can all see what's going on and we can talk to one another. You're going to go into Excel Chapter 1, and this is how every chapter is going to be. There's going to be an overview and a materials and an assignments folder. If you go into the materials folder, this one is a little bit different because it's the first one. There's a lot more stuff, but there's a study guide, various materials that will help you with this assignment for this chapter. So then if we go into assignment, you're going to see what you need to do. And so it's the same for every chapter, guys. The sim book, let me try. So I'm going to do that in a second. The pause and practice, which is the one thing for each chapter that you're going to do and submit to Blackboard. And then guided project, independent project, those are always required. And then in this case, we have a third one that's extra credit. Okay, so if you look at the pause and practice, the file that you need or files would be listed here. You're going to walk through the chapter, completing the pause and practice from the chapter. And when we get into SimNet here, I'm going to show you. But before you do the pause and practice, you need to do the sim book. So first of all, okay, so what is this SimNet that I keep talking about? If you look over here on the left, it's down here at the bottom. And there's another movie on how to set up your SimNet. So before you start to do this, watch that movie on how to complete your login to SimNet and syncing it. One of the things is you always want to get to SimNet through Blackboard because that keeps your grade book synced up. And so everything you do in SimNet then will come across to Blackboard. So once you get it set up, this is what you're going to see. So I'm going to always go into SimNet SimGrader. And then let me go into Student View. Wrong class. Let me go to my class here. You won't see this. I am the administrator for SimNet. That's why you see all this. Wait, is that the right class? No, that's my face-to-face class. Okay, this is our class. So if you look, you'll see here's chapter 1. If you go into chapter 1, there's the orange top and the blue tops. The orange is your ebook and it has your Let Me Tries in it. So I'm going to go in here, and this is an electronic version of your textbook. So that's why I'm saying it's up to you whether you get that physical book, because you do get the book in an electronic form through SimNet. So I'm going to go ahead and say Open SimBook. And this is what you're going to see. So here's page 1, and I'm scrolling down, and I'm going to scroll down until I cannot scroll any further. Then I'm going to come over. Okay, so I'm reading. Oops, Here's these buttons. Show me, guide me, let me try. So that sim book, you have to complete each of these let me try. So watch here. See how there's no check mark here? So I'm going to click on this, let me try, and look up here at the top. It says open the Save As dialog and save this file to the Documents folder with the name PPE1-1. So I'm going to do File, Save As, Browse, make sure I am in Documents, and I'm going to save it PP space E1-1, save. And I got it correct. It's done. I click, it goes back, and now I have a check mark. I know I have that let me try done. Now I don't want to go over yet because I still look at my scroll bar. It's still up here. It's not all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to keep reading till I get to the bottom and I cannot scroll any further. I go to the next page. Read. Here's another let me try. So for the sim book, before you do the pause and practice, you need to go through this chapter and you need to complete each of the let me tries. Okay, so enter the text Paradise Lakes Resort in cell A1. And I did. I got it right. Got a check mark. Look, my scroll bar's way up here, so I need to keep going. And there's more. So let's say you can't finish this at this point. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on this. Oh, yes, I want to exit. And look, I'm back to this screen where we went into the open the sim book, and look, over here, I have a check mark here that I did the 1 out of the 1 let me try for this section. And then remember I went to the second section and I only did 1 of the 5. No check mark here. So what you want to always make sure is that you scroll through this screen, and anything that has a number, you want to make sure that the numerator and the denominator are the same, right? So if they aren't, you won't see a check mark. The other things, the ones that say none, those are just part of the ebook. That's not part of the assignment. You only want to, you want to read it all, but you only need to do the ones with this. All right. So I'm going to close out of the sim book, and oops, I wanted to go back to sim student, sorry. Come in here, and then here is the projects, and I have another movie, sorry, for this one, just because it's not that it's hard, there's just a lot of steps, so I want to do a complete movie on that. Once I'm in here, I can always go back to assignments and it'll take you back to that screen. I'm gonna close out of SimNet, close out of all these. I'm back here to Blackboard, and so I did my let me tries. So if I go in here to assignments, I did my let me try. So now I'm ready to do the pause and practice, which is throughout the book. And you would complete that assignment and you would submit it here to this Dropbox. Then you go back to SimNet for these here. On the ones that the guided and independent, you can do 3 submissions. So you do one, you have some errors, you fix that file, you resubmit it, you get a different grade. You can do that 3 times, okay? So once the semester week 1's over, you really don't need to go into the start here. You're going to go to lessons and you're going to go to SimNet, okay? And that is a brief introduction into our classroom. So part of the struggle with this class is just the mechanics of it. So pause and practice is through Blackboard. All of the other items that you do in the chapter are through SimNet, but you get to SimNet through Blackboard, okay? So I'm going to stop this movie because it's going on 15 minutes here, and the next movie will be about the syllabus. So that'll be more details of what you have to do. All right, guys. Please don't ever hesitate to contact me. Once again, up here, hmandelinich@starkstate.edu is probably the best way. Or you can call and leave a phone message or try and contact me in my office. But really, email is probably the best way. All right, guys, take care.